After my first trip, I was hesitant to try acid again. My friend Jay and I were sitting in my car in a parking lot and we were talking. He had some paper acid on him and he gave me a hit. I let it sit on my tongue for a little while and swallowed it. My friend, Kay, also took a hit, but he was in a different car. We all went back to Jay's house and got out of our cars. I immediately felt the drug kick in. The leaves of the trees looked shiny. Purple and orange and green all at once. I felt like I was on a huge slant and like I would topple over at any moment, but I didn't. Kay, Jay and I eventually went into Jay's room and relaxed for a bit. We all began bugging out on each other. I stared at Jay for a while, and his eyes started popping out of his head and he looked bug-eyed like hell. We started listening to music and laughing at each other. I couldn't stop laughing the whole night. It was hilarious. At about 7 a.m. we were starting to come down, but they both still looked bug-eyed to me. And very skimpy and dirty. I felt dirty too. Kay was making me laugh still, and we were still playing music and he kept saying the funniest things. Eventually our friend, DM, came over and I felt like it was time to leave. I went home and took a shower. At this point in time, I was very close to losing my job. I had had a job at this place called the Redwood Grill, where I was a waitress. I hadn't shown up to work for a few days and I was in debt with my parents. They had to pay my car insurance the past month for me because I was jobless, so I was feeling very down on myself for not being able to find a job. After I took a shower, I watched What Dreams May Come, starring Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie, but it's about dying in heaven and where we all end up. It's very beautiful. After watching it, I felt like I wanted to die because everyday problems seemed so obsolete and unimportant in this movie. And that is exactly what I wanted to escape. I called my work to find out that I was fired. I was unbelievably depressed and very down on myself. I didn't want to burden my parents anymore with my problems and I didn't want them to have to pay my bills. So therefore, I felt obligated to kill myself. Eventually I crawled out of my hole and came out of the house and went down to Burger King, where all of my friends used to chill at. I felt untalkative and out of place, once again. I had planned my death perfectly. I was going to drive up a mountain that was in the next town over and drive off of a cliff. It seemed perfect to me. I even explained it to one of my friends, who got very angry at me and wouldn't even talk to me. I didn't mind too much. After talking it over with another one of my friends, I decided it best not to do it, that things would get better. However, I was very upset. I went home and sorted things out in my head. I decided not to kill myself like I had planned, though it seemed very tempting. Needless to say, this was my last experience with LSD.